What's up? Welcome in December 13th. Man, Christmas is getting
right now. It's with Thanksgiving being so late.
Yeah, we're in the thick of it.
It's like, holy shit. It does not feel like Christmas at all.
Yeah, we're in the thick of it. Brought to you by our friends over at Game Time. Game Time is focused on togetherness this holiday season. When you bring people together at live events, the experience is that much better, and it's the perfect gift. You know how much we love Game Time now with their brand new Game Time Picks feature. They're making it even easier to get to a game. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste your time searching through thousands of tickets. I was looking at, this is specifically for people in town this time of year. You see a lot of tourists, things like that. Yeah. You want to get to a game. You want to go to one of these historic events. How about the Nets-Cavs, best team in the NBA? Best record in the NBA. I don't know if they're the best team in the NBA. But Nets-Cavs, 12-16, $5 to get in the building.
It's cheaper than a movie.
It is cheaper.
$5.
Like by half. Yeah, exactly.
So if you're like a family, that's a great you want your kid to see an NBA game.
Right,
That's pretty good.
Barclays is easy to get to as well. So I saw an amazing deal on Game Time Picks for those seats at $5. Just pull up your chosen event and turn on the GT Picks setting at the top of the screen, or browse the best local Game Time Picks deals near you on your Game Time app homepage. What are you waiting for? I'm going to buy those Nets-Cavs tickets now with Game Time Picks. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code PICKS, P-I-C-K-S, for $20 off your first purchase. So for this purchase, basically getting the whole thing for free.
Oh, yeah.
Something like that. I mean, with fees, it's going to be like $38, something like that.
Yeah.
$20 off your first order.
It's covered with the discount.
Off. Yeah, exactly. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code PICKS for $20 off. Download your Game Time app today. What time is it? Game Time. All right, I thought we were going to have a little bit more of a game to unpack from last night.
Ugh.
Ugly. I think it happens. You know, it's a short week. Teams couldn't get going offensively.
Weather, too. The weather played a role. The rain.
Agreed.
Like, that was a big part of it. Just,
But I
think at least.
Where do you start? You start more with the Rams, who are getting everything done to make the playoffs, or you start with the 49ers, who have had what you like to call just a season, like just nothing is going their way.
I said it last night or yesterday when we were doing the show. It's like I felt like the line was reversed. Rams were +3. I'm like, I don't know. The Rams are playing better football. And now, granted, that was an ugly game. Neither team played great that game. But you're exactly right, Rico. The Rams are doing just enough. And Stafford's smart enough. McVay's smart enough. The other guys, Puka had some big catches last night. They're doing enough to get in. And credit to them. Credit to Stafford, as always. Like, I think he's like a legitimate good guy. I don't know, you can't help but root for him. I'm a Stafford guy. He's definitely on the backside of his career, but he's someone I definitely root for.
And Seattle, I mean, if you look at the way this division is breaking, it's really we thought it was a 4-team race. They were all in it. I think Arizona's out. Their schedule could break the right way, but they're 6-7. I think that schedule could.
I have a hard time saying they're out, though, because they all play each other a bunch, right?
Yeah, but it's hard. I mean, you're 6-7, it's hard. But either way, Seattle is.
It gets tough. It gets late early.
Seattle's a dog. That's a big one Sunday night.
So here's why
Seattle's a dog. They could be tied. What did they do against each other? What did the Rams do against Seattle?
I forget. Here's why I think the Cardinals aren't dead.
They beat them, so the Rams would have the tiebreaker.
Here's why I think the Cardinals aren't dead. Next game's Patriots. Game after that's at Panthers. Now, Panthers are playing better. I'll give you that. But that's 2 wins. That gets you to 8-7. And then you got Rams-Niners.
Right.
Now, I guess the negative element.
The Rams still have the Jets coming up, though.
Rams have the Jets. Yeah, I mean.
I guess the Cardinals are still in it.
I'm just saying, definitely things. The Niners winning that game would have really helped the Cardinals for sure last night, but I'm just not ready to say they're dead yet. But they're in trouble.
Wait, the Rams have a game versus the Jets coming up, but the Rams are your playoff team, and the Jets just can't win in order to fuck up their draft pick? I feel like we've been in this spot before.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm terrified of the game this week, too. All I want the Jets to do is lose.
I actually like the Jets a lot this week. I can't pick them because they are the Jets, but I've been fading the Jets all year as like +1s. I'm like, why are they favored? Why are they favored? Or I'm sorry, taking the +1, taking the +3. Why are they favored? I think the Jets roll this week against Jets.
I'm afraid that you're right.
They've still been
I hope you're wrong. I hope you're wrong.
I think the Jets roll this week. I just can't take it because
they're really good at shooting themselves in the foot, though. Like late in the second half of games, they're really good at fucking.
I think they can roll against Jacksonville. I really do. Because that's exactly what they don't want.
Jones,
that's exactly what they don't want.
Jesus.
But yeah, it's down to a 2-horse race with
it is.
With
Seattle,
the Rams and Seattle, and Seattle's a dog Sunday night. The Rams could be in the playoffs in that division right on Sunday night as we're watching.
Seattle's got a tough one. That Packers team is good. Like that's not going to be easy walk at all for the Seahawks. So yeah, you're right. Seahawks lose that game, and
the Rams have 2 paths. They also have the wild card because Washington is 8-6. and Washington goes.
Washington's 8-5 right now, but
Washington's 8-5.
They're 7.5 point
Saints,
favorites.
Eagles, Falcons. So the two they're gonna need them to lose the Eagles and Falcons. Washington is probably not losing to the Saints or the Cowboys, so they're gonna go 2-2 down the stretch. So what can the Rams go down the stretch to take that wild card spot? Jets, Cardinals, Seahawks. They got 3 left.
Gotta go 2-1.
Yeah, you gotta go 2-1. If they go 2-2, I think.
At 2-1, you get to 10 wins. That's that should be enough, I would think, to get in either one way or the other. Either get in via division or get in via wild card. Right. I think if they go 2-1, that's enough.
But the Rams have had a turnaround here. They're rolling and
they won 3 in a row.
They have a couple of spots in position to get into the playoffs.
You know what was huge for the Rams? That Bills game. Winning that was gigantic.
Big
we
time.
all marked that as a loss. That all of a sudden put. Now I do say this though. I mean, we talk about the Rams. I think the Rams are going to just get smoked in the playoffs. Like, they don't have a chance against some of these heavy hitter teams. Like, if they get in, great, credit to them.
Really
Congratulations.
Think so?
Yeah, I mean, like the Eagles would annihilate them. The Lions. I don't know who's going to get the bye. One of those teams.
No, because the Rams would go to the 4 maybe.
Depends if they get the home playoff game.
Are they better than the
would help
Bucks? Are they better than the Bucks?
I think the Bucks are better. It's close.
Oh, I'm
I
saying
guess.
record-wise, the Bucks are 7-6. So the Rams, if you win the division, you get the seed. It goes off of division winners.
Right.
So they could fall into the 3.
But if they have to get the wild card spot, then they're fucked.
If they get the wild card spot, they're fucked.
Yes.
I still think they're a little pesky, but if they win that division, they fall into the 3 or 4 seed. That gives you Green Bay or Minnesota. That's still winnable. The Rams 100% could win that game.
I guess because you figured they'd be at home, right?
Yeah, then they get the Eagles. The Rams get the Eagles. Like, I'd much rather have the Eagles than depending on what seed they are, I'd much rather have the Eagles than the Lions. The Rams, I think the Rams are, as long as you have McVay and you have Stafford, you got all those weapons and they're clicking. Now, Cooper Kupp did nothing last night.
Oh.
But if they have those weapons, like the Rams.
And I know Phil yesterday was chirping me like, oh, Cooper washed up Cooper Kupp. Look at Cooper Kupp's last 3 years. He is kind of washed up, Phil.
Glummer, I said it last night. I don't think I've ever had a worse feel for a game in my life. I had Cooper Kupp anytime touchdown. I sprinkled some 2 touchdowns. He couldn't get a single catch. I had the same amount of yardage as him last night.
Yeah, it was.
I whiffed.
So I will say this: the weather was definitely a factor for sure.
Yeah.
But like the idea that Cooper Kupp's the same guy he was 4 years ago just is not true.
Yeah.
He is not the same guy, and it's been injuries and it's been a lot of things. But like this is a guy that is going to have his 3rd straight year in a row with not even a 900 passing yards, receiving yard season. Not even 1,000. Not even 900.
If I knew it was going to rain that bad last night.
I know. I didn't know either.
That's just entirely on me.
Yeah, I didn't know about that as well. I think you should. Hey, listen, you should look at everything.
I know the weather. That's on us.
Look at all that. That's on us.
I
tip meteorology.
Yeah.
I had a shootout in my mind. I was like, oh, it's going to be like a 35-28
I know the
game.
same thing.
Like,
I know. Well, we're dumb. What do you want from us? We're idiots.
Who would you rather have in the playoffs, the Rams or the Washington Commanders just watching, or the Rams or the Seahawks? I find myself rooting for the Rams to get in just because it's Stafford and McVay.
Definitely Rams over the Seahawks. I think that Washington's kind of fun because you have a rookie quarterback. It's kind of fun. But like I don't think Washington can win a playoff game. I think the Rams can win a playoff game. I agree with that.
I'd like to see that.
In the right situation.
Yeah.
Right. I agree with that. I think the Rams out of those 3 teams you mentioned are the most dangerous, but none of them are dangerous. If that makes any sense. I
think the Rams, if the Rams at home against either Green Bay or Minnesota, I think the Rams are pretty dangerous. I do. I think the Rams can get to the divisional for sure, and then be pesky.
Then they
be pesky against the Eagles.
They just get punched in the face.
I don't think so.
The Rams are dangerous, but you can't keep points like the home field. Like there's not a home field advantage for the Rams. They're just
but I'm just saying it is.
He's not playing on the road.
It is a home game.
But that can help because like I'd rather that than have to go to Green Bay though. That is a home field. You almost like not
playing in the cold. Yeah.
It's an advantage in itself because you're not having to go there.
Yeah, it depends like where the game is.
Right.
But it's not that big of a home field advantage. Just be like, oh, the Rams crowd's like
No.
The crowd won't have any impact at all in LA.
No, I agree with that. It's a nice win for the Rams. A win they desperately needed. Coming off that Bills win, and you're right, Rico. They win 2 out of 3 now. I think they're in, and it's not a crazy path.
Yeah, I don't know. You look at it, it seems almost like too perfect in the NFC that we're just going to have Eagles against the Lions. You start to maybe talk yourself into some of these teams like the Bucks.
What are you talking yourself into? I think I'm talking about something.
I think. Yeah, that's trendy though. Like I'm looking a little deeper. I would say it's a 3-horse race between. It's the Lions, then the Eagles. There's a drop there. Then there's a drop to the Packers. Then I think it's everybody else. And then I'm looking at that everybody
you're
else.
down to the Vikings then.
They're
11-2. I'm not high in the Vikings.
I'm not high on the Vikings to get to an NFC Championship game.
I'm not either. I just don't. I love Sam Darnold. I like him. I really do. I like him a lot. I have no ill will to Sam Darnold.
Well, we've seen this script with the Vikings when they won that division and hosted the Giants. Like, maybe it's not the same team, but I think it's something with, I don't know, the Vikings can have a nice season. I don't think they can get to the NFC Championship game. I don't think they're a real Super Bowl contender. Doesn't matter what their records are. Listen, sometimes in the NFL, records are inflated on paper. That's just a fact.
Oh, yeah. No, that's very true. But
so then I'm looking a little deeper, like who's a real good team that can make a run? I think Tampa Bay is pesky enough to make a run. They've already beat the Lions. What if Tampa Bay beats the Vikings and then goes to the Lions in a shootout? We've seen the Lions play shootouts. Tampa Bay could be pesky. I think the Rams can be pesky. They're well coached.
Really good at home.
They are really good at home. But like, if you're making me pick somebody deep, I do think those teams have a path.
Okay, so here's a crazy scenario for you. There's a possibility that you could have Minnesota leapfrog over the Lions and steal that spot. I don't think it's going to happen, so I'm playing devil's advocate.
Win the division?
Yeah. Then things change.
Yeah, I need a lot of help.
Things shift. So the good news is Minnesota plays Detroit the last game of the season. So that obviously they have to win that game.
Minnesota have to win outright, yes.
And Minnesota's rest of the way isn't the easiest. The Bears are easy. But then you have at Seahawks, which is tough, and then they have Packers. So it gets tough. But the Lions on their end, they have the Bills. That's tough. Bears at Bears at Niners, Vikings. So let's say the Lions lose this week. That's a great game, by the way. Lions Bills.
Yeah, but Phil was touching on that. I don't think it matters a ton. It matters more to the Eagles. It doesn't matter as much to the Eagles if they lose to the Bills because it's an AFC NFC game.
Correct.
So the Eagles chasing that.
Also, the Eagles have locked up.
Yeah, as much as we're talking about the Lions and kind of everybody kind of sucking off the Lions, rightfully so. I mean, good story, a lot of weapons, fun team. There is a path where the Lions not only fall out of the 1 seed, lose the division.
Right.
That's still on the table.
There's a very good chance by the time we're here on Monday, the Vikings and Lions have the same record.
Right.
Because the Lions have a tough game. That's a tough game against the Bills. And the Vikings should take care of business against the Bears. So, I mean, then you got both teams same record, and things get crazy.
Yeah, I wouldn't guarantee a win versus the Bears. I mean, that's a divisional game. That's tough. Vikings played them tough.
No, I'm not guaranteeing a win. I'm just saying I think if you have to just do the chalk.
Yeah.
You know, or at least I will say this. All I'm saying is the Lions game this week is significantly more difficult than the Vikings game. That's all.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then you have the same record. Then anything can happen. 3 games left. I mean, now it's so late in the season where kooky stuff can happen.
Yeah. I mean, I thought the kooky stuff already happened with the Rams beating the Bills, but now I know what you mean.
I mean, it never happens this way, but I'm already talking myself into the chalk of AFC NFC Championship weekend. Just give me Chiefs Bills and give me Lions Eagles.
Yeah.
And I'm okay. I know that's like, why are you rooting for? You're not rooting for any kind of stories. You're not rooting for upsets. The way this season has kind of played out, just give me all 4 of those quarterbacks, give me all 4 of those teams, and let them duke it out.
So if that happens, you're talking about Lamar being out. You're talking about the Steelers being out.
Yes. I'm okay with that. I think I'm getting to a point where, especially in these playoff games where you've seen it all play out and how much fun it is, you could set your watch to Bills-Chiefs. I want Bills-Chiefs for as many years as we can. Is that wrong as a viewer?
No, I want the same thing. The game's always
like it.
The playoff games always live up to the hype. You're getting to see the 2 best go at it. That is like, you're right, Rico. That's like almost like a fun tradition at this point.
Yeah, and then
almost like a January staple.
And I think the Lions didn't play at home last year, right? In that NFC,
no, they did.
In the NFC Championship game?
No,
not the NFC Championship.
All right, so the Lions at home with all that pressure in the NFC Championship game, back-to-back years. Lions would be favored in that game against the Eagles. Might be a slight favorite, but they'd be favored in that Eagles. That Eagles fan base, who's they're scumbags, but they're fucking crazy as well. Like, sign me up for that as well.
Well, if that's the case, that's another thing to look at this week. Is that all right? Let's say the Lions do lose, and Eagles do win. Eagles have a tough game too this week. Now they have the same record. Now who gets the home? Who's going to actually have the number 1 seed?
Right.
Not only for the home field advantage, but also for that first week bye. So there is a lot. Eagles have locked up that division for sure, but there's still a lot for them.
Yeah, I think that's the message I'm taking out of it. Like, as great as the Lions have been, we're 15 weeks into the season, and we're still talking about the fact that the Lions can not only blow the 1, would blow the division, and that's a credit to the Vikings and the Packers. Whether you think the Packers and Vikings are legit, they're hanging right there with them. More so the Vikings.
The Eagles' schedule literally gets easier as it goes along. You have the Steelers this week, very tough game. At Commanders, medium tough game. Cowboys, and then Giants. So each game, it gets progressively easier. So if the Eagles can just take care of business these first couple weeks, it should be smooth sailing.
Yeah, I do think the Eagles have a shot at that, so we'll see.
And that bye would be huge. And like you said, Rico, having that NFC Championship game in Philadelphia as opposed to Detroit, I think
the Lions game against Buffalo is at home this week, so that's a favorite.
Yes.
The Lions are a 2.5 point favorite.
And the Eagles are, 5.5 point favorite against the Steelers.
Right.
Which to me
so they'll
crazy.
cancel out.
That's my pick of the week, by the way. We'll get to the games obviously later, but the Steelers haven't lost a game by 6 points all year. So it's like, all right, I'll ride with them.
That's interesting.
I don't know. I mean, it's like the Eagles.
What's your stat on Steelers as a dog, Phil? Isn't that like an automatic take for you as well?
That's when I see a plus sign on the Steelers, I always take it.
Yeah.
When I see a minus sign, I always have to fade it.
My eyebrows arch up too. When I saw a plus and I saw a number that wasn't a 1, 2, or 3, I'm like, oh shit. Now obviously the Eagles are awesome. It's not at all a slight on the Eagles. The Eagles are really good. It's more just like the Steelers. Even when they lose close. I don't know.
It could be like an ugly 20-17 game.
If I'm wrong and the Eagles win 34-7, then it is what it is. I'm not going to be like stunned about it. But I think that's the safest pick of my week is that they haven't done it all year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know.
Does anything jump before we dive into the games? Anything big picture jump out to you in the NFL in terms of like, I don't know, what you're looking at in the AFC, the Chiefs are the Chiefs as good as we think? Like, is there anybody that you would take a Super Bowl future on right now? I don't know if there's anybody really other. I'm trying to think. I still think the Chargers can play with anybody. I know that's a first-year coach. I like Harbaugh. And I
with
like
anybody is very different than beating anybody. So like playing with, I think you're right, Rico. And that the defense is pretty strong. They don't make mistakes. Right. If they're gonna lose, let's say they lose 20-13 or 24. 15 to somebody, or that's a weird score, but like, what I'm saying, like that could kind of happen maybe, but like, I don't know. I don't see them getting blown out, but I don't see them going very far.
Chargers Super Bowl odds are 40-1. So
to make it or win it?
To win it.
Chargers go to the Steelers. That's a hard game, but if you're asking me who, obviously I think you want the.
That's a bad matchup. The Chargers.
Yeah.
You want to play a sloppy team.
You want to play the Texans.
Oh yeah.
I don't think the Chargers.
If we get Chargers Texans, I will take the Chargers.
Every day of the week.
Yeah.
I agree as well.
This is one thing I'm at. You asked like what I'm kind of looking at, and right now I'm looking at the AFC, especially in some of the NFC. But like, I feel like the playoff standings are kind of like locked in. Like, there's such a big divide between the 8 and 5 teams, and the next team up is Indy at 6 and 7, Miami 6-7. Those teams aren't very
out.
That goes into the biggest game of the weekend, the one that pretty much decides do we have a playoff race? Colts Broncos.
Oh, they could still make that a race, right?
If the Broncos win that game,
it's all over.
It's kind of just over, in my opinion.
That's why I think I circled the Broncos -4.5.
The Colts win.
Broncos have been taking care of business when they need to this year. I think the Broncos win that game.
I like that, Rico. I'm with you on that. Yeah, I agree. And then in the NFC, it's kind of the same thing. Like, other than the NFC West, where there is a little bit of open-endedness, I don't know. I guess maybe the Rams. I guess the NFC is more exciting.
I think
the
it's
Rams the outside
Commanders.
looking in.
Yeah, I think Rams Commanders. And if you're looking at like wild cards or long shots in the NFC, I think you could talk me into the Bucks and Rams as like a pesky spot to get to an. I don't think they're going to win the conference. I really don't. But to get to an NFC Championship game and then you're holding a hedge spot, you can't take the Eagles because it's chalk. You can't take the Lions. It's chalk. Everybody's going to take the Packers, so I don't want to be on that. I think you go to the Rams and you go to Tampa Bay, the Tampa Bay, by the way, already beat the Lions. Mm-hmm. I think Tampa Bay, and I'm not a big Tampa Bay guy, but I think Tampa Bay and the Rams would be my long shots in the NFC. I really do.
Tampa Bay is also 40-1, Rams 45-1.
I was saying there's also one team we haven't mentioned you can't count out. The Atlanta Falcons.
I disagree, man.
Wow.
We're Falcons guys. And
here's why. Let me say why. So they've lost 4 in a row. Not good. Their next 4 games at Raiders, it's winnable. Giants, they stink. At Commanders, tough fish. Panthers.
Yeah, but they
win out.
But
they'll be 10-7.
They've done already enough where they had a 2-game lead technically on the Tampa Bay because they beat them head to head and have still found a way to blow this division right now.
They've lost 4 in a row. It's not good. I'm not losing hope. I'm wearing this
That
jersey
doesn't mean they're going to make.
C got us.
Yeah, we like
until
that.
Until they're dead, I'm riding with the Falcons. They have to be in the ground, buried. Until then, I have hope.
Let's
go Falcons. We're getting there. They're only a game out.
The Falcons are plus 150 to make the playoffs. So you get a nice little plus sign next to their name.
I'm just saying. I'm not saying go crazy, and I'm not saying it's my play of the week by any stretch. But I'm saying, is that something to sprinkle a little salt on? It's not the craziest thing in the world.
A little more sprinkle, 120-1 to win the Super Bowl.
No,
that's
thanks.
I love the Falcons. But I'm just saying to get in there. I'm just saying I'm saying the path's not closed yet. That's all I'm saying. I'll be wearing this jersey with pride next week.
I just think Tampa Bay has played better than them. Atlanta's on when? Monday night this week? I didn't write it down. I wrote down.
Let me find out. Is that true?
We could break down Monday.
You're absolutely right, Rico. Monday at Raiders.
Yeah, why is it a doubleheader? Did they announce why that is, Phil?
No,
hate
just is.
So late in the season, too.
It makes sense, like the week
Does it?
one. No, I'm saying.
yeah.
Week one makes sense.
Week one makes sense. Now it's like, I just don't. Most people don't have two TVs. We don't all have a Bosco basement where you have all the multiple TVs. So it's tough.
But
for
I
the
think
average
the
person to watch games.
streaming services give you the option to do both if you do have that.
Yeah, but like your average 58-year-old guys just want to watch TV with his family.
They're just turning on the game.
They just want to enjoy Monday Night Football.
They might not
they've been watching it for 50 years.
They also might not know enough to flip.
Hey,
I think I think the broadcast will tell you the look-ins that the game's going on, but you might not know enough to flip. You're right.
I don't know. I think if you do a doubleheader, then they should be one should be at 7, one should be at 10.
YouTube TV is shameless, by the way, raising it $10 a month.
You don't like that, right?
No, it's up to $82 a month.
Hey, I'm not going to brag, but you know what I am? I'm a cable guy.
Yeah.
I didn't cut the cord.
I have both because I think I need YouTube TV for the multis.
Yeah. All right.
Like it's when you or put it this way.
You don't need it. You have 9,000 TVs. Applebee's in your basement.
When I'm upstairs and I only have the one TV going in the living room because sometimes you have to be in the living room.
Yeah.
Now I have four. I have 4 screens without it being a problem.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or like, hey, make sure she leaves. Make sure you vacuum the living room before you leave.
Yep.
All right, I got 4 going.
Yep.
So like, you do need the YouTube, but them raising it $10 a month sucks. All right, let me tell you about our friends at Omaha before we dive into the NFL games.
Here we go.
Let me tell you about our friends at Omaha Steaks. Nothing delivers comfort and joy quite like the unrivaled quality and taste of Omaha Steaks. It's guaranteed perfection in every single bite, and right now you can save on unforgettable gifts with 50% off site-wide at omahasteaks.com, plus score an extra $30 off with promo code PICKS. With 5 generations of experience, they consistently deliver the world's best steak experience, and the gifting experts at Omaha Steaks have made it easy to deliver the perfect gift with thoughtfully curated gift packages featuring gourmet favorites. From legendary steaks to mouthwatering desserts and more, save 50% off site-wide for a limited time at omahasteaks.com. Plus, our listeners get an extra $30 off with promo code PICKS. That's 50% off at omahasteaks.com and an extra $30 off with promo code PICKS. Minimum purchase may apply. An unbelievable gift from Omaha Steaks. All right, so that's big picture stuff with the NFL. We'll dive into the games and kind of spread them out, take our time. First one is a doozy. Baltimore minus 16.5 going to the Giants, total of 42.5. What is Baltimore's? I don't know how you can. It's weird. I don't know how you can take anything with the Giants at this point. I don't know how you can lay anything with Baltimore in a spread like that, who loves putting people back into a game. So it's a spread. Stay away from me. I'm looking to see what the team totals are.
Yeah, I mean this is the biggest spread of the season. I'm kind of with you where I'm not confident. The number 16.5 is just so gigantic. I'm staying away from this game entirely. I just anytime you have a mismatch like this where it's just so one-sided, the game can get kind of goofy in the second half. I get scared of that.
What do you think Derrick Henry is to score a touchdown?
Oh my God, I'll find out.
Take a guess. I already know.
Minus 410.
Okay, you went crazy. It's minus 295.
Oh, that's not that great. That's,
that's insane. Where is the
2 TDs is plus 175. I might take that.
Yeah, 2 TDs.
Here's what I'm worried about, though, Phil. What if they pull him after the first half? What if it's 31-0 at the first half?
Well, how to get to 31-0? Hopefully, get to 2 of them.
But like goofy shit, pick 6, like weird shit could happen. It's just like, all right, like
there is danger.
Anytime it's like not really an NFL game anymore, it just becomes like this much of a bloodbath. It's like I don't know what to do.
So if Tommy DeVito's our starting quarterback the last 4 games, which it looks like it is, Giants are going to have 2 wins on the season. We are not winning another game.
Get the number 1 pick. And then it's a question of Shedeur.
Is Drew Lock gone for the year?
I think he has a foot injury or something, so in my mind, he's gone.
So if you guys lose out, I think because of strength of schedule, you guys would have the number 1 pick almost guaranteed, right?
Yes.
So all you guys got to do is just lose, and you got it.
Yeah, it's that easy.
They'll screw it up. Baltimore's team total is over 29.5 is minus 110. So you got to get all the way up to 29.5 to get over minus 110.
Giants.
Oh, Jesus.
More interested in that.
I hate to interrupt football. We have some breaking baseball news.
Uh-oh.
The New York Yankees have made a trade, Chris Clemmer.
Oh, my God. Okay.
They're finalizing a deal to acquire closer Devin Williams from the Milwaukee Brewers.
Fuck. Who are they giving up? We don't know yet.
I don't know yet.
Motherfucker.
You wanted him?
Yeah.
I had to leave Young Edge there because they're in the mix for a bunch of names right now. So
over 12.5 for the Giants is minus 122.
Over 12.5.
12.5. 2 touchdowns.
Fucking God.
I think I would play the under. Where would Devin Williams go for us? He'd be the 8th inning guy?
Yeah. So
he's okay with that? A lot of these guys don't want to be the 8th inning guy.
No, he's the
Devin
closer
Williams,
for the Yankees.
What?
He's the closer.
No, but
for
he
the
was saying for us.
Oh yeah.
So here's why Devin Williams would not want to go to us. This is the last year Devin Williams' contract. So he wants to be a free agent. He wants to get 40 saves.
Yeah, a ton of saves.
So now they have what's his face? Who's the kid they got? The
Weaver.
Now you got Weaver in the 8th inning. Devin Williams in the 9th. The Yankees pitching staff is starting to shape up to be like a problem. Now they can't hit it all. They're hitless wonders. But you have that. They have 7 starting pitchers right now, and you got a bullpen that's going to end with Weaver and Williams. That's pretty nasty, right? That's pretty good.
That is
Fuck
pretty
me.
good.
I wonder what they
Don't
gave
they have
up.
the Yankees have like 7 starting pitchers too? You were saying
7.
Yeah.
You got Stroman and Cortez right now. They don't have spots because you got to figure Clark Schmidt, Guihil, Rodon, and they got the 2 biggies and Cole and Max Fried.
Don't usually interrupt you like that, but
No,
I feel like
that's
that's big news.
That's a good one. That's a big one. Devin Williams. I mean, he missed a lot of the last year with some back issues, but when he's on, he obviously gave it that huge homer to Pete. But when he's on, he's pretty unhittable. That's what made the Pete homer even more like,
So
holy shit.
his playoff history is actually like pretty like not that
But it's
good.
very
too.
limited.
It's
very small.
very
sample
limited.
size.
Very limited.
That's why we gotta take the playoff. I know Ev likes to talk about the playoff stats. Marty does too. Relax. Guys pitch how many playoff games? 4, 5, 6?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
around
like
there.
let's calm down with that. That's a big move. A huge move for the Yankees. If you're a Yankees fan, you should be thrilled right now. Devin Williams is about as legit as it gets. I'm very disappointed.
All right, the next one, Washington, a road favorite, -7.5 against New Orleans. Total is 43.5. The Saints suck, but something about a rookie quarterback on the road. Washington, like, I kind of like the Saints here.
So I know the Saints
7.5.
are going back and forth with their quarterback. It sounds like Carr is hurt. I don't know if they've named an official starter yet for this game. So that was kind of making me stay away from the game entirely. Yeah, they haven't named an official starter yet. The backup is, what's the guy's name? Phil, do you know? Hayden? I'm not the Saints backup quarterback. You know?
Jake Haener, yeah.
Jake Haener from Fresno State.
So I don't know much about him. So that's
Gunslinger, good in college.
Would you rather have him go or Carr? Carr, right? Of course.
I think I don't know. Yeah, Carr hasn't played well though. But I'd rather have somebody more established on the
I'm
center.
staying with
I like Haener. We like Haener. I
So
like Haener a lot.
this-
Ev's a big Haener guy too.
This is the party.
But he's not.
NFL.
Some of these guys in the NFL, it's a different environment, especially over short, like no preparation.
Right, and you also don't know if you're gonna be the guy until maybe even that day.
Right.
This is a part of the NFL season where teams like lose a game unexpectedly.
That's
I think This could be a Saints win.
Yeah,
where you're like,
I'm rooting.
Oh, the
Again,
Commanders are in trouble.
it creates a path for the Rams. I'm rooting for the Rams. I'm more established with the Rams. Something about the Rams being in play. I'm not even a Rams fan, but something about the Rams being in a playoff game more than a rookie quarterback. I'd rather watch. There's something about that.
You got to figure too. If you're the Commanders, what if you're game planning all week for Derek Carr and Haener comes out, and maybe that's somehow you sneak in a win, or the game gets closer than it should be? I don't know. I'm staying away from this game.
Yeah. Kansas City -4 against Cleveland. 43 is the total. I don't even have to look at the public sides. I feel like everybody's going to be on the Chiefs. Maybe I'm the sucker. I'm going to take the Chiefs -4.
I'm with you. Jameis Winston against the Chiefs defense is really what I'm looking at. So I actually looked at team totals here, and I'm less on the spread and more on the Browns under 19.5. I just think that Chiefs defense, I think Jameis Winston is really good against shitty defenses and really bad against good ones. The Chiefs defense is about as lights as it gets. So I'm taking the Browns under 19.5. That's my play for this game.
And again, like I think I said it last week, though, but aren't the Chiefs due for a fucking big win? Like just
honestly,
a laugher? Can the Chiefs
I've been
eventually?
saying that all year.
What has been? Yeah, like can they get a laugher? They've yet to have one.
Every game's close. They look, and honestly, man, they look
Is
like
that maybe?
they look like ass in these games. Like they win barely, like blocked, field goals
they're
or other
winning
weird, stupid
close.
shit. And even against bad teams, they still play like ass. So I don't really know. That's why I stay away from the spread. The 4 is enough to scare me. 3 or less, I would have gone that way. But I'm just gonna take the team total. Let the Browns get 20. God bless.
Yeah. What's the Chiefs team total in that one?
Let's take a look. The over/under is 43 in this game.
So it's got to be low as well. I'd put the Chiefs at maybe 20, 25, 26.
It is 23.5.
That's it?
Yep.
Yeah, but
Yeah, but the Chiefs' offense, you think they're gonna go and get
if
4
you,
3 touchdowns?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
If you think it's going to be a laugher, I don't know. I really don't. The Chiefs, they eventually have to have a blowout win. They have too many weapons that they eventually will get a win. Now it's on the road, which makes it more difficult. Cold weather.
They usually do okay in the cold.
They're in the cold as well, but I'm just saying, cold weather I don't think that.
I guess it means more crazy shit can happen.
Yeah, exactly.
Goofy stuff. I don't know. I believe more in the Chiefs' defense than I do the Chiefs' total team, so I'm taking the Chiefs Browns under.
You can lock in the Chiefs for me at -4, though. I'm going to play it. I don't care how public it is.
So more info from Devin Williams came
Yeah.
out. It's Nestor Cortez and Caleb Durbin going to the Milwaukee Brewers.
So now the Yankees have 6 starters. Cortez is going to obviously fill in that Brewers rotation. I don't know the other player name. Must be a prospect. I don't know him. I'm sorry. But Cortez now fills out that, and he's relatively inexpensive. I guess it makes sense. But once again, Bruins ownership, awful, being cheap. Shame on them. They have a really good team, really good thing going. Pat Murphy's a genius. He'll make it work. But damn, you're losing one of the best closers in all of baseball because you can't afford him. That's sad.
Also, what's funny? Nestor Cortez's last pitch as a Yankee.
That's that World Series.
That grand slam.
That's tough.
Oh, so Cortez got dealt.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So that's gives the Yankees with 6 starters now. So Stroman is still on the outside looking in. But you had 2 guys before. So maybe they keep Stroman and have him as kind of a long man, or maybe they try to deal him. I don't know. It's a lot of money to pay a long man. I don't know. Yankees are interesting.
A starting pitcher is always. I don't know. It's a weird thing to do. I feel like you need 6 starters because somebody's always going to get hurt.
You need 8.
Yeah.
Really?
Always
Don't you?
gonna hurt.
I mean, every team. How many teams have less than 8 guys take at least 1 game start? It's
a good
very
point.
rare. You
Yeah.
really need. So if the Yankees kept 7, I wouldn't have blamed them. But if you have a chance to get Devin Williams, you got to trade Nestor.
But how do you? It's hard to justify paying those 6 and 7 guys who aren't starting.
Right.
And also, where do you put them in a spot?
And then you have a chance to get one of the best guys at his position in all of baseball.
No, I agree.
You got to. I said hats off the Yankees. I don't know this prospect, so I apologize. But hats off to the Yankees. That is a great move.
Cincinnati -5 going to Tennessee. Total of 46. I wanted to lay it with Cincinnati here. I think Cincinnati's offense is enough to just kind of give Tennessee a ton of problems. Tennessee doesn't have a great offense as well. I don't think they're going to score even on a shitty Bengals defense, although the Bengals defense can make anybody look good. But I would lay it here with Cincinnati.
Yeah, I'm doing exactly. I know it's square as you want to. People want to say whatever people want to say. The Titans have lost, 7 of the last 9. These included losses against the Jaguars, Commanders. They've lost to the Colts. They're just not good. There's a terrible team. The Bengals defense is horrible.
Horrible.
No question about it. I'm not defending them at all. But that offense to me is so good, it can put up a crazy. And they might give up 24 points to a shitty team like the Titans, but then they're going to score 46. So I'm very confident on that one too. That's one I like a lot. Is the Bengals -5? I'm sure that's going to be square as square can be, but that's okay. Square wins a lot. Winning a lot the last 2 years going square, so I'm with the Bengals.
If you think this Bengals offense is going to click, you can take Joe Burrow plus 275 passing yards and Joe Burrow 2+ passing touchdowns. It's plus 116.
I like the passing touchdowns more than the yards because I'm afraid if they're up by a ton, what if they just run the whole 4th quarter?
Right.
But I don't mind the touchdowns because in theory, if you get up by a lot, like Phil was saying earlier, you got to score. So the 2 touchdowns is interesting me. That's plus money too.
Yeah, I think Burrow's
I
going
think I might be on that, Rico. I like that play a lot.
plus 116.
Let's go.
I don't hate it.
like that
Cook
a
that
lot.
up at DraftKings. Miami going to Houston. Houston -3. Total 46.5. A little rally from Miami in terms of a last gasp.
This game is so gross. It's not gross bad. It's like it's
two
very
good
interesting.
Teams. It's 2 good teams, but
Are
I don't
they
trust,
good?
I don't trust
2
Houston.
teams I don't know what they are. It's like 2 Jekyll and Hyde teams. Like who are these guys? Sometimes I was way too high on Texans coming into the season. I've been like
I think the whole world was. I think everybody thought Stroud was going to take a leap up.
Took a step back?
I thought they could compete for a playoff spot, compete for a conference championship, compete for a Super Bowl. Everybody thought that.
And I will say, so we were wrong about the Texans for sure. A lot of us were. I think Marty was right about him.
But the Texans, listen, all it takes is a hot little run. The Texans are still going to be in the dance.
Playoffs.
I don't think they're going to do anything, but they'll be in the dance.
I thought they'd be
That's all
better.
you can ask for.
But I will say one thing we were right about, though, is we were all pretty down on the Dolphins going into the season. I think we all said before the year they wouldn't make the playoffs.
Yeah, that was when I think we were debating doing a segment of like every week crossing off teams who could win a Super Bowl.
And the first one we're going to do.
Yeah, you do the first, but the thing is, you do the draft, and it's like, all right, you take the Jaguars early, and you take who's another
the
horrific team?
Titans,
the Giants,
Patriots.
So instead of taking those teams right away, you put a line in the sand, and we all agreed, let's take the Dolphins at the one of the first picks, and put our.
We were all down.
We would have been right. Now the Tua injury complicates things. Like we didn't want that to happen, but we were right that the Dolphins couldn't win the Super Bowl. Now, again, it gets hairy because of the injury, but we were very is it bullish or bearish? Bullish?
Bull, right? Bull market's strong. Bear is like scarier. Right?
So I guess we were very bearish on the Dolphins.
I think so. I think that's right. Dolphins have still somehow kind of been a little worse than I thought, even with the Tua injury. Like, even without it. Like, if you take that away, they still haven't been the team I thought they were going to be. I thought the Dolphins would go like 10-7 and miss the playoffs by like a half game. But instead, or on a tiebreaker. But instead, they've kind of been ass. I don't know. I don't like either team here, so I'm staying away. I like both teams. I'm excited for this game. This is not me shooting the NFL. I'm actually excited to watch this game, but I don't know how to play it.
I would play Miami.
Okay. You're getting points too, right?
I would, yeah. Plus the 3, I would play Miami.
I don't hate that. If I think if I had to go one, the only thing is in Houston, Miami's so bad in the road, but then again, it's in a dome, and Miami's fine.
Is Miami like completely out of it yet?
No. You're right. Well, you said earlier, last gasp. This is it. They got to, like, win out. If they win out, they have a chance.
Yeah, Denver's got that thing with Indy, and they could do that. I think Miami gets a last gasp.
It's do or die for the Dolphins, literally.
Yeah, I think it's Dolphins. I think it's Dolphins on the field. I think Dolphins outright.
Oh, really?
I would look at them as
that's
money line.
plus
I would be very shocked if Hank doesn't have this in Hungry Dogs Run Faster.
Yeah, that's a pretty good.
Because it's plus 3. Like,
right,
Miami.
They have to win. The Texans don't have to win this game. The Dolphins do.
Yeah, I think Miami's a little pesky here.
Plus 124. It's not a. I'm staying away, but I understand why. I understand the reasoning.
Yeah. Jets minus 3 against Jacksonville in an absolute fucking slugfest. 40.5 is the total. Kind of like the over. I think the Jets have been giving up a lot of points and
Mac Jones though.
Moving the ball. Yeah, that's a good point, Mac Jones. I think the Jets.
Careful.
The Jets would be the Jets are. I've been the Jets whisperer all year. I took the Colts against them. I took Seahawks against them. I've been laughing my way to the bank when they put minus signs in front of the Jets. I really, really like the Jets here, and I could see them even ended up on my card. I really like the Jets here. Perfect spot to spoil the draft pick. Everybody kind of pissed out at Rodgers. Rodgers has
like one last
game. Yeah, Jacksonville's horrific. A lot of fight in the locker room. People are tired of what the Jets are saying. They go win a game. I think the Jets minus 3 here is an easy one. I like the Jets a lot. But again, it's the Jets, so I can't put it on my card. But I really, really like the Jets here. Like the Jets a lot.
If I wasn't, I'm not betting this game out of anger and disgust and protest. If I was gonna bet, I think I'd probably take the Jets. But the Jets have disappointed me so much this season, and so I can't just keep having to kick sand in my face and taking my money. Like, I can't do it anymore. I don't know. I'm disgusted. Yeah, you're exactly right. This way the Jets have played this year, this is exactly how we fuck up that draft pick. You're exactly right, and we win this game. 36-10 against the Jaguars. Wonderful. Awesome. Cool. We beat Mac Jones, and now we have a worse draft pick. That would be so Jets, and that's where we are right now. I hate this team, man.
Yeah, you have every right to. I mean, it's a disaster. It really is, in every sense of the form.
I don't even know how to fix it. Like, what do you do next year? Like,
Rodgers is going to come back, whether you.
No, he's not.
You think they're going to eat that? Don't they have cap space or something like that?
It's dead money anyway. It's a contract over. Like, no matter. It's not that bad. The question is, like, we'd go into next year with nothing.
Now, does Rodgers want to go out like that, though? Is Rodgers done? I know he's a weird cat, but, like, he would end his season on one of the worst ones ever. That's going to be his.
You also have to know what your limits
song.
Are. But what else does he do? He goes somewhere else and he sucks. He sucks. He's not good anymore. He's only going to get worse.
Yeah, I think that's been the theme. We've said it with Rivers, Matt Ryan. You've now seen it with Rodgers. Peyton Manning didn't have a complete fall off.
Oh, he won a Super Bowl that year, but he was horrible that year. Remember that? Last year, Broncos was abysmal. They won the Super Bowl.
They won the Super Bowl. That's why.
They were playing Brock Osweiler at one point. He was horrible. Horrible. You're right. When it goes,
I guess I didn't realize how bad he was.
When it goes,
he did have a swan song to win the Super Bowl. How'd they win the Super Bowl that year? If he was so bad?
That was like a Ravens level.
Yeah.
Von Miller was like, that was insane.
I didn't realize he was that bad that year.
So bad. You're right, Rico. When it goes, it goes. And you know what's sad is as bad as Rodgers is this year, it can get even worse. It can be worse than this. It could be like you were saying. Like, remember Drew Brees that last year? He couldn't throw deep. They had to bring in Taysom Hill to throw a Hail Mary.
It goes. It goes with the quarterbacks when you see it, and you don't expect it to go when it goes. But yeah, I think Rodgers. I just don't know if Rodgers would want to go out on such a bad loss.
I think
it's such a bad season.
I just think it could only get worse from her. Like, it's not. I know he's gonna be better next year. He stinks. He's done.
Is there anybody you could? Yeah, I think Rodgers was bad. Is there anybody where that he goes and that's a situation that makes sense?
Like a Denver situation where they could win despite of him? I don't know. It's such a quarterback league now, too. I mean, not that it wasn't back when.
I mean, we'll run through the teams. I don't have the Monday night teams in front of me, but, like, all right, he's not going to Baltimore. He's not going to the Giants. Not going to Washington. He's not going to the Saints. He's not going to
All right, how about Cleveland?
Kansas City.
How about the Browns?
No, I don't think their defense is good enough. And that's too tough of a division. I don't think Rodgers will go to Cleveland. He's not going to Cincinnati. Tennessee doesn't have enough around him to build up like something
they stink.
like that.
No, he has a home in Tennessee. He has a home in Tennessee.
He's not going to Miami. He's not going to Houston. He's not going to Jacksonville.
No, every good team already has a.
He's not going to Dallas.
So
he's not going to Carolina.
Want me to run a hypothetical by you? Let's say next year.
Where the fuck is he going to go?
Let's say next year, week 3, Justin Herbert gets knocked out for the season, or I don't know, Jalen Hurts tears.
Or he's a comeback guy,
and he's that guy you call in week 5 to come in and save your season. And he's weird enough to maybe want to do that. I don't know. At this point, though, doesn't it seem like he doesn't even want to play football? He's working with Robert F. Kennedy on shit. He's filming this fucking documentary about his weird fucking health habits. He wants to go in seclusion in these tents. I feel like does he even care about football anymore? Like, he doesn't seem to give a shit. He has so many other things he seems like.
Yeah, I don't think he cares. I really don't.
So it's like then
he does McAfee.
Just go home, bro.
Yeah.
Now I know he likes the attention, so you want to stay in the NFL for that reason. But he could go like on any pregame show and get attention.
What would have been interesting though to see would he have sucked last year?
I know. Like how much of this is the Achilles and how much of this is him getting older? I don't know.
I think last year would have been interesting to see.
I think about it.
We would have seen did Father Time get him last year?
I think about it every day. Is this Achilles? Was this expedited because of the Achilles,
right,
or was this going to happen all along? Because Hubs, I will say, Hubs is obviously a big Packers fan. He was telling me when we got Aaron, he's like, not quite the same guy, and that was before the Achilles. He's like, watch, not quite the same guy, and I think he probably was right. He certainly was right this year.
Right. Surprising favorite, Carolina -3 against Dallas, total 43.5. Carolina's been playing good of recently.
I know. I give Bryce Young credit. He had to deal with all the haters and everything, and he's kind of had a little resurgence there.
What's Carolina's run been? 1 o'clock game, Carolina. Carolina has now lost to the Eagles by 6, lost to the Bucks by 3, lost to the Chiefs by 3.
But that's not bad.
Beat the Giants and beat the Saints going backwards.
So since 5 competitive games.
Since the calendar has turned November, the Panthers have been a not that bad team.
Competitive team.
Not that bad team.
Yeah. You're exactly right. They got Cowboys, Cardinals, Bucks, Falcons the rest of the way. I don't know what to do with this game. I don't know. I mean, the Cowboys.
No, it's a pass for me. I'm not playing it. I like that Carolina's favored. I mean, I think the team trending upward should be favored, especially at home. But
I mean, you got Cooper Rush.
I'm not playing it. Yeah, I'm not playing it.
I think I'm just gonna spend my Sunday pretending this game doesn't exist.
The marquee game of the week: Lions -2.5 against the Bills, total 54.5. Bills coming off of a crushing loss. Lions with a chance to kind of wrap up the 1 seed to a degree here. If down the run they got to get one of these big wins. I don't have an opinion. It's a watch for me. I'm very excited to watch it and let it play out. I guess I would lean Lions at home.
So I'm taking the coward's way out here. I'm bumping this up to +3, and I'm going to go with the Bills. It does bump the money line up to -127, but that's enough for me to at least to chew on. I think that's the play here. The 2.5. The teams are so good, and you're right, Rico. It's absolutely a watch. The teams are so good that I don't really know which way to go here. I do like the Lions a lot that they're at home, but I'm thinking, all right, if I'm getting 3 points, I just see this coming down to a field goal, so I'm going to go that way, but not confidently.
Yeah, I think you could take the over as well if you're looking to have some fun.
I'm kind of pissed off. You mentioned how this is like the game of the week, and it absolutely is, but there's another game on the same time that's almost as good. I wish that these games were split up.
What, Pitt and Philly?
Yeah, I wish that was at 1 o'clock. Is that a crazy take?
That is interesting. No, that is interesting that they – well, why is this a CBS game?
I don't know. I'm sure it's obviously some network obligations, but it just sucks. Like I would have much rather had – I don't know. I mean, the 1 o'clock slate has enough – we already talked about it. It has some pretty decent games there. Like Bengals-Titans is interesting to some level from an offense. Chiefs-Browns has some Dolphins-Texans has real implications. But, man, Steelers-Eagles – Tampa Bay
Chargers is the silver medal game as well. Tampa Bay Chargers is silver medal for me. Or, I'm sorry, bronze.
I agree.
Bronze. That's a great game.
You have the 3 best games on the same time. That kind of sucks. And usually,
well, you know what, though?
Usually the 4 o'clock games suck.
Yeah, I mean, we've been shitting on the 4 o'clocks for all year. Like, I find myself fading out of some of the 4 o'clocks. I know you watch all 7 hours, but I'm finding myself fading out of the 4 o'clocks.
I don't blame you.
When you have 3 games, and it's the Raiders, the Broncos. As much as I like the Broncos now that they've turned around, but Raiders, Broncos, Seahawks, like a bunch of teams that I don't give a fuck about.
Right.
Or when they were still putting the Cowboys in the 4:00 window early on, and the Cowboys then shit. So you have the Cowboys in America's Game of the Week, and you got a bunch of other teams from the West Coast that you don't really care about. The 4:00.
And you had the Niners shit in the bed too.
Yeah, exactly. The Niners, it's a down year. I think it's been a bad year for the 4:00. This is an interesting.
It's like feast or famine though, because now we have. You're right. The 3 best games of Sunday are all at the same time. I don't know. Whatever. It'll make Red Zone more fun, I guess. But I kind of would have rather just sat and focused on a couple of these games. But it is what it is. That's all right.
Denver -4.5 hosting Indy.
Well, we didn't really talk Steelers-Eagles, right?
No, we didn't get to that yet. I don't have that next.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
I have that next. It's all good. Denver -4.5 against Indy. Total is 44. Lock me up with Denver.
I think I'm with you. You sold me on this one.
Good team, good quarterback, well coached. I think Denver. I don't like what I see out of Indy. I don't think Indy's good enough to make the playoffs. Indianapolis. I don't buy it. I don't want them in the playoffs. I think Denver's been taking care of business. Denver gets the win here.
Denver.
A lot of monster with quarterbacks. I also like Williams to score a touchdown.
I think Denver's defense is pretty what's what I'm looking for? Not regimented, but they don't make mistakes. They're very efficient. And I think an efficient defense against Anthony Richardson is a problem for Richardson. I think Richardson benefits when defenses make mistakes, and he can take advantage of this either by running or just by finding that open passer or open receiver, excuse me. I think this is an example of a really bad matchup for Richardson. So I'm with you on the Broncos.
Philly -5.5 against Pittsburgh. Totals 43.5. You said you like Pittsburgh.
I like them a lot. Pittsburgh hasn't lost a game by 6 points all season. I'm with Phil. Anytime I see Pitt in a plus, I get intrigued, and that's kind of where I am here. So I'm with you, Bosco. Or I don't know if you're on this one too, but this is a game I'm really.
I'm not. It's a watch for me. It's a
all right.
pass.
You're not big on the Steelers because the Eagles are so good.
Yeah, I think the Eagles are really good. I also think Pittsburgh. It's one of the, 5.5 is also. I don't want to be laying 5.5.
Weird number.
Yeah. It almost is like so big it tells you that why is it 5.5? Why is Philly laying 5.5? I almost think it's pointing you towards Philly, if I had to guess.
I guess, but it's not 7. I don't know.
Oh.
I really believe in the Steelers defense keeping it close, and like I said, that Pitt plus that gets my eyes going. So I'm on Steelers. I think it's my play of the week.
Arizona -6, total 46.5. You talk about a team who's kind of wilted down the stretch. Arizona has not been good. Now the Patriots make a lot of mistakes. I wish I could get Dukes' opinion here on this, but the Patriots make a lot of mistakes. A little bit of fight. I kind of lean Pats plus the 6 here. Arizona doesn't put anybody away.
True. There is one
second
play.
half of the season's been a disaster.
I will say there's one play I do every week, and it always hits. Literally, I think I'm 4 for 4 on it. Drake May interception. -130. Do it. I'm telling you guys. And it's not his fault. A lot of times they're Hail Marys. A lot of times it's weird shit happen. His receivers are horrible, and it'll bounce off their numbers. But this has been so good for me all year, and it's consistent. And it's not his fault. This is not Drake May slander at all. But that's the only play I have in this game, because I think you're right, Rico, where I don't trust the Cardinals. They kind of second half Cardinals, second half Kyler has been rough.
And you could look at the Cardinals who have they beaten? They did beat the Rams in week 2. That was early. That's a different Rams team. Beat the 49ers by the 1, and then kind of beat the Chargers. So they do have a couple of impressive wins. Beat the Dolphins by 1, buried the Bears, and buried the Jets. So they put away bad teams. But then coming out of that bye week, lost to the Seahawks, only scored 6 points. Lost to the Vikings in a game they probably should have won, and kind of got throttled by the Seahawks again, 30-18. So, I just don't like what I'm seeing. Teams trending – at this point in the season, you see teams trending upward or downward. I think Arizona's trending downward. I think the Pats could be pesky and stay within the 6.
So, if you follow the show –
I don't like the Pats at all, but they can stay within the 6.
Our tattoo bet? So, that's still in play. If the Pats go 2-2 – I'm sorry, the Pats go 3-1, I lose the tattoo bet. So, I have to get a tattoo. If they go 2-2, I'll be okay.
Yeah.
So this game for Dukes matters a lot. It's a game that we both agree the Pats won, and we wouldn't come in here Monday and be that shocked.
Right.
So this is one if you want to see me get a tattoo, you want the Cardinals.
Tampa Bay catching 2.5. Chargers -2.5 at home. Total 45.5. Chargers -2.5 at home. I like Tampa Bay. As much as I've talked about the Chargers. I think Tampa Bay can go steal one with that offense. You have to take a dog if you have 2. I've been playing 2 or 3 games a week. I think you have to play a dog. Tampa Bay is my dog of the week.
Give me the home team here, and that's just for that reason. It's not at all Buck slander. I think since Mike Evans went back, we can see how it's a different offense. So I'm not doing this confidently at all. It's not like the Steelers one where I feel really good about it. But I like the Chargers at home. The 2.5, I was trying to bump that to 3, but it didn't make sense. It was then it's -140 something. Even 2.5 is -120. So I'm gonna go with the Chargers here, but it's definitely a game that I'm not confident in, But I'm excited to watch. You're absolutely right, Rico. Absolute bronze medal game. This is a better game than Dolphins-Texans.
Yeah.
So this is a fun game. I'm excited to watch it. I'm on the Chargers, but it's light.
Green Bay Sunday night -2.5 going to Seattle, total 45.5. I want the Rams to make the playoffs, so I guess I'm rooting for Green Bay in so many ways. I'm rooting for Green Bay here minus the 2.5.
I am waiting for the tech team and the guys over there to make their pick. I'm just going to ride with them. I don't really have a feel on it, honestly. Like, Green Bay is kind of up and down. Seattle at home is always kind of a beast, and you're getting, if you're getting Seattle at home plus money, that's pretty good. So I'm going to see what the guys choose. I might have some touchdown picks, but I'll announce that Sunday, but I don't know yet. I want to see what they're going to do. And to watch the stream Sunday night, Big Cat was great, stepped up huge for our guys here. And we have a tech team here that works in the streams with us, the stream team. They're going to get $1,000 each, basically, and they're all going to combine and make one bet. If it wins, then there you go.
Perfect. Yeah, it's going to be a great
Big thank you to Big Cat.
I'll be there Sunday night. It'll be a big one. Yeah, it'll be a good stream Sunday night. And then Monday night is a casino stream, I believe.
So, yeah, a bunch of us are going to I think that's going to be earlier before the games. I think it's me, Tommy, Hubs, going to Marty's, Dana. We're going to do, I think, blackjack. So that's going to be, I think, like around 5-ish, I think.
Should be Monday, yeah.
That's Monday, and then then it's a doubleheader for the football. And
right.
I know that a few of the Chicago boys are going to go to that game, so there might be some content there, too.
Sure. So Green Bay -2.5. And then you got a doubleheader Monday night, which we can break down as we break down. But what are you locking down in terms of Penn for Sunday? Right now I have Kansas City -4, Denver -4.5, and Tampa Bay plus the 2.5. That's where I'm at.
I'm on the Denver play with you. And I'm also locking in Steelers plus 5.5, Bills plus 3, Bengals -5, under Browns 19.5 points, Chargers -2.5, and one of my favorites. Take this. It's been 4 for 4 for me. Drake May throwing a pick -130. This might be the week it stops. But knock on wood. But I love it. I'm very angry at the fucking goddamn Brewers and Yankees right now. That fortunately is.
It's not a trade for you to get mad at.
I think it is.
It's just a trade.
It's a guy I wanted. I went to the fucking team I hate the most.
I mean, he'll be a free agent in a year.
I know, but still, and we know the Yankees won't sign him. That's what they do, right? They get a guy for a year and they can't afford him.
It's a reliever, though. Like, guys spawn as relievers all the time.
I know, but he's a good one.
Did you think Reed Garrett was going to be that good last year?
Reed Garrett's not Devin Williams, Phil.
Well, Reed Garrett pitched more innings than Devin Williams.
Stop it. Comparing apples and elephants. What are we doing?
I'm just saying relievers is the easiest thing to find.
I know.
In baseball.
Well, yeah, but true. But it's not easy to find exceptional ones. That's what Devin Williams is.
I mean,
it's somebody that I wanted on our team.
It was pretty easy for the Yankees to find Luke Weaver, who was pretty good last year.
I'm curious to see what the Mets do next. We got Alonso out there, still a free agent. Sounds like the market hasn't been terribly great for him. The Mariners are being cheap.
I feel good about Minaya coming back.
Minaya, I think we still need another starter. That's not enough for me. If we get Minaya, is that enough for you guys? In the rotation?
No.
Wouldn't say
I
enough.
think the rotation needs help.
I think so, too. Like, I don't...
You missed the deal on Crochet, right? He's officially
he's
out.
on the Red Sox.
Yeah.
That happened yesterday.
I know. He's official.
Oh, he just laughed at you. Who does that? You asked the question.
Officially out, yeah.
You asked the question. Phil, you can't laugh at you when they ask a question.
I don't know.
No, you don't know. You can't laugh at you when they ask questions. That's rude. He was asking our help.
Making sure he was out.
Yeah,
Apologies,
that's okay.
Rico. I can confirm he is out.
All right, got it.
And that's someone I really wanted.
Corbin Burns is probably not going to us, right?
Going to us. It sounds like someone in on this at all. Which someone Phil doesn't like him. I like him a lot.
I just don't think he's not worth the money he's gonna get.
He's gonna get big. He's gonna get more than free. He's gonna get big money.
We're thinking like $250 million.
Yeah, I think so.
Like, I don't think he's that kind of pitcher.
Waving away.
No answer.
Wait. Poor Tom.
She's confused. Yeah.
No.
It's all good. All right, Phil, what are you locking in, Penn?
Bills plus 2.5, just
Okay.
because I like the Bills. And like my sneaky pick of the week is like, I kind of like Saints plus 7.5. I might sprinkle the money line. This just feels like the game you look at on Sunday and be like, how the hell did Jake Hayner win a game versus the Commanders? Like,
I also
how'd that
think
happen?
teams fighting for playoff spots, there's a reason they're fighting for playoff spots and they lose games they're not supposed to. I like the Saints as well.
I kind of like the Panthers -3.
Cook that up. Cook up Tampa Bay, Miami, and the Saints outright as a money dog parlay.
Wait, what are the teams?
Saints, Tampa Bay, Miami.
Saints, Tampa Bay,
Miami. What is it?
Plus 1748.
That's not that crazy.
Just don't like the plays, but it's not. I'll say this: if you like those teams, it's good value.
Yeah, it's not that craady.
You're high in those teams.
Not that
17-1 is a pretty good payout.
Yeah. All right, so that is a Football Friday. Wrapping up Pick Central.
We're back all next. So next week's our last week for the break, but we'll have shows all 5 days.
Brad be back Thursday with some bowl stuff.
I think I'll be here every day. I think we have a pretty good crew next week, so it should be good. How you feel about that, Phil? Good?
Yeah.
All right, Phil. Wrap it up. Wrap it up, Phil. All right, the Yak is up next. They'll catch you. Enjoy your wagers. Check out DraftKings, Omaha Steaks.
Go get gifts right now. Omaha Steaks. It's delivered.
Omaha Steaks and Game Time. Check it out, and we'll catch you Monday.